We gonna get this right.
Now,
Can you hear me now? Okay.
I,
Oh my
I,
goodness. Okay, so now we figured it out.
okay,
We both were live, so therefore we can't join each other's lives.
exactly.
But
Okay, that
in the
makes sense.
second time when we were on, I was on my iPad, so
Me
I could
too.
see you, but I couldn't hear anything. And I'm like,
Right.
let me get back on my phone.
Phone, right. I was trying with my iPad earlier too, and something was going on. I could not figure it out. So I said, let me get my phone set up. And I've been trying to get situated here for a minute. I'm technically challenged, so trust me, I understand.
But now we know, okay.
Yes, yes.
Because I'm like, wait, I see you on live, and I'm like, okay, that makes
Okay,
sense. You
something
was
wrong.
doing the
Something
live,
is
I was
wrong.
doing the
Yep.
live.
And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, okay, this is her. She's running this, so I need to, like, I don't know. I just wanted to, but I wanted to be on time.
Listen, we 14 minutes late. That's all right, y'all.
That's all
Y'all
right.
forgive us.
That's all
Y'all
right.
please forgive us. So we gonna start all over. Hello, for you guys who don't understand, we are technically challenged.
Yeah.
Just because we're business owners, it does not mean that we know how to use this technology.
Not at all.
First and foremost. But we're having fun
That's
learning how to
right.
do it.
Exactly.
I
Got some
am
assistance. Get some assistance.
girl. I am my own my social media director is the one who told me to reset it. She jumped on and I'm like, I don't
See,
know what's going on. So she
thank
was like,
God for
reset
help.
it. So
Thank
I'm
God
like,
for
what does that
help.
mean? Get off and get back on? She's like, yes. I'm like, okay.
It's so
All right.
glad you guys. It's good you got help. And you know what too? Like nowadays, it's like especially with social media, you get to make a little few mistakes. It's fine.
Exactly. We gonna get it right, girl. We gonna look back 10 years from now when we doing it big and be like,
Yes,
remember we couldn't even get one.
I know. I'm so excited. I
So
love
for
stuff
everybody who don't
like
know,
that.
my name is Tia L. Woods. I am the owner of It's the Room. I am the host of Off the Rack Chats, where we expose and expand Black brands, where we do all mess ups and bloopers. This is live,
Yep.
not
Yep.
recorded, you guys. So
And that's fine.
Exactly. So today we are going to jump right in it because we are 16 minutes behind. We are going to jump right in it, you guys. We had to cut our conversation short the other day. My glasses are so dirty. We had to cut our conversation short the other day. We were like, no, wait, this should be live. We
Right.
should be talking about this stuff live.
Exactly.
So we have Tara Campos.
Yes,
Okay, she
yes,
is the
yes,
owner of Make It
yes.
Pretty, you guys.
Thank
Listen, we
you,
go way back, and we bumped
girl.
into each other last summer, the
Oh
summer before in
my! Oh no, it was
Manchester.
before that, and that's how fast time flies. I think it's probably been 3 years. This will be the third summer.
Yeah.
It's been. Yep,
And
yep,
when I tell you, you were in Manchester doing what
yep.
was that?
We were doing the art in the
Art
park.
in the Park.
Art in the park in Manchester.
So
Yep.
when I passed by her table, first of all, I saw her. I was like, "Oh my God, how you doing? You know how we
I
do."
know. Yep,
But
yep.
her art, the things she make, it's just really
Thank you
phenomenal. So
so
we
much.
are not going to hold you guys long. We are going to jump right into it, Tara. It's going
Yeah.
to be on you. Tell us about you. Tell us your story. Tell us how you got started, why you got started. Let's
Well,
go.
thank you. First of all, thank you so much for even asking. I can't even I feel so honored that you would even think of me, Tia. Thank you so much. And I said it to you on the phone. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing, girl, for people, for us, for our people. I appreciate you. Your gift looks amazing on you. You are absolutely beautiful. So I was so happy just to see you and to know that, you know what I'm saying? We kind of grew up together. We was in the same, we went to school together, we was babies together, and to lock eyes and to know you, it's like that feeling you get when you lock eyes with somebody, you be like, oh my God, and I know for me, I love to see my people doing good and doing
Right.
well. And girl, you was just walking through there like you was looking for, I said, what? So I was really happy to see you. I'm really honored that you asked me. This journey started for me like 10 years ago, but I want to say a little bit longer than that.
Let me tell you, wait a minute, I'm going to start. My daughter just went, I said, you know what, give me some popcorn because I'm about to talk to
You know,
Tara. So when I
what
talk
the
to
right
Tara,
and get some snacks. That's what I'm talking about. Get some snacks. Because
Tara,
that's how
that good, girl.
I was like, oh my God. But I'm always so worried because that's you. If you remember anything about me in school, I don't think I changed too much.
Listen, I think we toned it down, and you see how high we are right now. So imagine how we were in school.
Exactly. But just happy about just the things that are happening, and to know that you're not the only one. I started like a few years ago, like most, I don't want to start off the sad, but it started as a journey for me. My son was I was, that mom telling him, you can do whatever you want, you can follow your dreams, you can get this done, that done. And here I am, like, pushing him and trying to get him in a place to position him to do his best thing. Right. And I was doing this and thinking to myself, I didn't do this for myself. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't do this for myself. And now I'm trying to push him and get him to understand something. And I realized I have to first understand it for my girl. So that was like a whole, and won't your kids do it? Like, you think you being a good mom and you doing everything and you got it, you providing and you doing what you got to do. But at the same time, it's like I knew he was smart, he was bright, but he just started struggling with what he wanted to do. And one day I asked him, I said, well, what are your dreams? Like, what do you dream about, babe? Let's get excited, because I was determined I was going to be that mom. And you reading and my baby's going to have dreams. And he was like, I don't know. I don't have none. And it broke my heart because I started to think about myself and what were my dreams and what were the things that I wanted to do. And how, I was saying the other night on the telephone, I was raised kind of in that family where you go to school, you get a job with good benefits, you do your 40 hours a week. Right. If you're going to go to college, you give them all that money, you come out with a degree. You don't know. And we were coming up in that wave where if you were Black going to college, they were like kind of pumping it to us, like, what I'm saying? This is, so this is the wave. And and don't get me wrong, like, I feel like higher education is good for us, and formal education is good for certain fields, but artists or musicians, kids who just have a passion, they don't know why, they just want to help. Right. Kids that like playing with animals, that like saving animals in the neighborhood, and you looking at them like, oh, well, what you doing? Nothing. But they don't learn like other kids. Right. You know what I mean? They don't pick it up in the classroom like the other kids do. Mm-hmm. I was that kid. I got by in the class. I knew how to do enough work because you get enough work, you get it done. But what I wanted to do and the things that were a passion for me just weren't, so
wasn't available.
Yeah, right. It wasn't right. It ain't right. And it wasn't available. It wasn't not for us. Right. You know what I'm saying? Not for us. My grandmother, who was a woman who took care of houses, she cleaned houses in Jewish communities in West Hartford. But she was self-employed, right? Right. She got up, she set her own schedule, she made her own day, she made her own money, but at the same time, this is what she did. She, with little education, she came here from Virginia, and she decided, I'm going to be inventive, you know what I'm saying, with my hands, and I'm going to get busy with my hands. I didn't know it then. Then, as a young kid, it was just my grandmother cleans houses, right? But I saw how she was always like, you can do it. Right. Like whatever you can do it with your hand. You can make something happen for yourself, babe. You just got to put the hard work in.
Right. Work ethic.
But verbalizing what that was and what it looked like was all, it fit into the structure of, what they tell us we supposed to do. Right. And so she put me in dance. She put me in art. She put me in those types of things she would always get me involved in those things. And it wasn't like targeted. It was like just something she was like, oh, this is something Tyra want to do, so I'm going to do this for my grandbaby. My mother was a single mother working, you know what I'm saying? So my grandmother was like the father, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to put the kids into this while, mommy is working. And so when my son got to a certain stage in high school, I'm just looking at him. I didn't realize all the stuff that I had suppressed. So that's, you know what I mean? Like all the stuff that I had suppressed in myself. So here I am trying to teach him something and I'm hitting a wall.
Right.
Because I can't fully teach him because I don't have
and he had no examples of how to do what you told him
to do. And exactly. And that was exactly it. It was like, babe, you gotta do. And then I went, wait. You know,
and he's probably saying, but Ma, you go to work every day.
Right. You get up every day, you punch a clock, you go to work every day. You get what I mean? So, you know, but it was there. It was there. And I think that's what I'm uncovering is that all through my story, all through my life, it was things that were there that were really the building blocks to what's happening right now.
Right.
But it all started with, I like right now, I feel like you ask me what I'm doing, I have no idea. Like, I have no idea. I'm just taking like one step at a time, one thing at a time. And it started with, you know, my husband said to me, you're an artist. You're an artist. You know, you paint. Whenever we moved, I was doing all the painting and doing all the, you know, in the house. And we couldn't afford to get the art that I wanted on the walls. That was another thing growing up. You know, my mother had a certain thing she wanted to see. And if we couldn't find it in a store, we would create it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I didn't see pictures of us in pictures, or when you see pictures on, you know, these dramatic art pieces or whatever. So I was always doing abstract art and, you know, all of this different stuff to put it on the wall, to have art in the house on the wall that you know, that we liked, you know what I mean? And of course you grow up watching, you know, the stuff on Bill Cosby. You see all of this Black art, but just not anything that's accessible to you again.
Right.
So you start creating it. You make it up yourself, you know, and that's how it started. You know, Tara, you're an artist. But again, none of it was for me like, this is what I wanted to do. It was just like, it was like an unfolding of just my life happening in front of me.
It sounds like every step you've taken, unknowingly though, for all of us, every step you've taken has led you to where you are right now. You know, so it sounds like that those examples were right in front of you. But you didn't see it as such. You saw grandma going to work. She cleaned somebody's house. But now she's like, grandma owned her own business. Because she, I
used to see her sit down when she got off of work. When she came home, she would stop at my mother's house, and I would see her sit down at the table, and she pull out her checkbook, and she pull out her money, and she do her banking, and she do her, and I'm seeing her, and here she, you know, all of these things that they didn't. It wasn't like verbally like, Tara, this is what I'm doing.
Right.
But, and so I'll say I had a lot of things in my head, like, oh, you know, I was a young girl and kind of like I had things accessible to me. And so I took those things for granted. So I wasn't great with money, right? I wasn't great with money. And I had this mindset of I wasn't going to be great with money. When I started chasing after this thing to help my son and started putting pieces together and looking, and in my mom there, you didn't have good examples. And then I would go back to those days where she would come and stop and sit at the house and do and it's like, wait a minute, you did have examples. Girl, I sit and I think all of this because where I am right now with the art and turning my art into products and teaching, and turning my art into these products, and then the passion to teach younger kids that you can turn your passion for art, for fashion, for design, for music, for the thing that they tell you is, you know, and I don't want to say it like that anymore because it's changing now. Right. Things is opening up. There's been a big boom. There's like,
but I get what you're saying. Back in the day, it's like you want to be a singer, girl. You can't never be no singer. You want to be a dancer, girl, you know. So that wasn't.
It just wasn't. And so I think that's what, I look at it like they say everything happens for a reason. And there was a period where I took the attitude of, well, I didn't get this. Like, I didn't get to go to one of these schools, or I didn't get to get this, involvement. But then it was more like, no, it was preparing me for the kid that still doesn't get it.
Right.
Because even though we have all these opportunities now, and you can see things more than ever, and you can move, I feel like there's open doors that we gotta, that are, if we don't get through them quick, though, they're closing, but there are open doors now that we can go through, but there's still a huge
amount of kids who
amount,
right. They just don't have the access. They just don't.
No access.
Right.
And here I am thinking that we thought we had it hard, Tia, and we did, but I look now.
Right. There's kids that have it really hard. Really hard. So this is so ironic and so wonderful, because again, your passion is your purpose, because you can't run from it.
No.
That's one thing that I learned. You can't run from your purpose.
Nope.
And to know that it started off as, something soothing, kind of like my book I wrote.
Yeah,
it started off as healing. Like,
yeah,
I have seen it. I don't know why my life is like this. And now it's a whole book.
It's a whole movement.
It's a whole movement.
It started a whole journey. It started a whole, like, you did a pivot. You wrote the book, and then you were like, wait. It just...
Right. Exactly.
And you don't realize it's happening. And that's the thing that's happening now for me that I want to share more than anything. When people talk to me about the business, like, you want to talk to me about the business, and I'm proud to be in that realm now, a Black woman, a entrepreneur, trying to be a business owner. But I will
stop.
Right. Okay. Yeah. A Black woman who is a business owner.
You have to say none. Stop.
Thank you. And I take my correction well. I do. Listen, I take it because, but that's the part I want to share the most.
Right.
That's the part that's the most important to me, is to be transparent in the fact, because everybody now is starting a business, and I don't want to sound like one of those people, because I was reading a post. So when I started putting my artwork on the clothing, because I couldn't figure out, I'm doing these big paintings, and I'm doing all this artwork, and I'm doing all this creating, and then I'm like trying to sell one. So the first thing is, I'm trying to sell one, and in that process of trying to sell one, I'm realizing I have to put value on myself.
Right. You can't sell it for $4.99.
Right. So now you got to put value on yourself. So, okay, so here's the thing about me. Every step of this has been an undoing of sorts. Okay. Do you get what I mean? Like an undoing. Like, so when it came to the part where, okay, I'm creating the art, and now I believe it's good. Okay. Now I believe that I'm good at it, and I see, the process of learning, and even though being self-taught, I'm even feeling proud about that.
That right there alone is just truly amazing.
Right. So I'm like, I'm getting there, but now, okay, I'm getting to the part where I want to sell a piece of art. So that's how you ended up running into me at that art walk. That was only the second time of me doing one of those events and really putting myself out there, like putting my art on display to sell it and had no idea, again, going through the process, but feeling like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to show up. I made the decision to myself that you're going to show up scared. Even if you're terrified, even if you don't believe it, just show up. And people are telling you have good. So believe them. If you can't believe it for yourself, believe them and just show up. And remember, you're trying to teach your sons to go after their dreams. You're trying to teach them to chase that. So this is all that's motivating me. So I have to now come up with prices for my art. Girl, that started a whole, because I have to put value on myself. I have to have a price. And now I'm meeting other business people and other artists, and they're saying, girl, like, one, you're undervaluing yourself.
Then I tell you, you're not $4.99. Right.
That you should have been selling that for more.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's Tara. And so then it became a test. Oh my God, Tia, I'm gonna even go a little bit deep on you. And I said I wasn't gonna do this. But even down to my name.
Mm-hmm. I was there. Maybe I should change my name, because when they see Tia L. Woods, they're not going to be interested. Because who is Tia? Maybe. Yep.
Let me tell you, I'll go one further, because my name is Tara.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, my aunt named me after my cousin, who she gave birth to a baby that passed, after birth. Her Tara Taranda. So my aunt named me Tara. So she's from New York. She has a New York accent. They live like upstate Nyack. So her pronunciation of my name is Tara. Tara,
Okay.
like Tara, right? So growing up, I always said Tara, and just would answer her to Tara, answer that family in New York to Tara. But here, my mother called me Tara. Right. But of course, growing up, dancing in West Hartford, you get that code switch. Right?
The code switch, yes.
So this whole process, I was standing, a school teacher walked in. Her name is, I can't remember her last name, Latanya. I want to shout her out because she's an artist in Hartford too, but she's a school principal. And she walked into the jewelry store that I was working in part-time. And she said to me, I was helping her. And she said, "What's your name?" And so I said Tara. The girl at the register called me, and she said Tara. It was a white girl, which it didn't offend me or anything like that. But the girl who was standing in front of me was a black girl. She go, "Well, wait, which is it?"
Right.
Because that's important. Right? So now I'm like, because I'm venturing into this world, I'm becoming a business owner, I'm doing something I've never done before. You're uncovering parts of yourself that you don't know who you are. Who are you? Wait a minute. What is?
You are hitting on it so deep.
What's your name? Wait, what's your name? What do you allow people to call you?
Right.
And what does that mean to you?
Right.
When they call your name? This lady stood before me and had to put that in my heart. She said, "Wait a minute, but wait, baby, which one is it?" Because that matters.
Right.
How the sound leaves your mouth when you say your name matters.
Right.
Okay.
Things you take for granted. Yeah.
The sound you put out into what was the intent, what's your name. And so I was going back and forth, and it happened again. It happened in a real estate office one day, and the lady said it to me again. "Well, how do you pronounce it?" It became a thing for the week, and I was like going through this, and I'm like, wait a minute. And long story short, I finally came to the realization. I was like, wait a minute, what does your mother call you? My mother, what does my mother call me? And I said, and my mother, and I would listen to my mother and how she say my name. And she was standing at the sink one day, and she was cutting something up. And she don't know, she not even paying attention. And she's Tara, and she said my name. And when she said it, I said, that's my name. That's my name. That's the pronunciation of my name. Even though I was named after a cousin, and my aunt might pronounce it a certain way in New York. That's my mother. The way she says my name, that's my name. But even that was like a peeling another piece of the layer of an onion, to where now when I walk in a room and someone says, "Well, what's your name?" and I say Tara, and I don't have to answer the question anymore of, "Well, how do you pronounce that?" Well, which one is it?
How many of us, because that's the identity crisis.
Yes, it is.
How many of us, and that's so important to be transparent and to have these conversations, because some people in my family call me Till. That's because they're country too. Tia. Till, come on over here. But then some people call me Texas. Some people call me because I was born in Texas. But Not even, I didn't have a pronunciation. They just lazy with their tongue.
Yeah. No, yeah, because I got an uncle that called me Tora. I mean, you my uncle.
Right. You should know my name. But it's like, how many of us really have an identity crisis on different levels? You were the pronunciation.
Right.
Mine was just the whole being. Like,
Right.
who's going to listen to Tia? Who's going to come to her store? Who's going to support her? I'm just Tia, come from the North End of Hartford. Like,
right.
whatever.
Right.
So that's another form of, I believe, an identity
exactly.
crisis.
What's my voice?
Right.
Who am I? What do I have to contribute? What matters about me? What's mine? You know, it's this, what's my story? Everybody has a story. It sounds so cliche and you hear it over and over and over again. But
you know my book.
But never have you really, just when you start to unfold yourself, you go, wait a minute. No,
right.
I actually have a story. Mm-hmm. I have a story, and an important one to tell, because there is another kid, another person, another adult like me. Waiting
for your story.
Waiting for me to say, and I'm keeping it to myself because I'm insecure on so many.
Fear, or having the imposter syndrome. And
girl, I was listen, as early as last night, as early as today, where I'm about to sit on here and talk to her, and like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, just that you don't really, and it plays out. No matter how healthy we get, you know, we keep growing. I peeked my head into my son this morning. I said, baby, remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
There's going to be days, you know what I'm saying? Every day ain't going to be a great day, but when you start chipping away and it gets better and you're growing and you feel yourself progressing and growing, just know that it is a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
There's always something to learn.
Exactly. And we're always growing. We're always discovering who we are. Yes, I know myself better this week than I did last week. You know?
And how many layers there are.
Right.
To you.
And I know you guys are thinking, well, what the heck this got to do with business? Everything. Everything, you guys.
So that was the part. Okay, so let's talk about that, because that was the part that I didn't get. I was working as an administrative assistant, and my goal was to be an executive administrative assistant. I want to get to executive level, you know what I'm saying, where I can be assisting somebody one-on-one, a CEO or somebody of a company. So that was the goal, you know what I mean? And so you start, I've gone through seminars, these classes that they put you through at these corporate meetings to encourage you to be the best employee and how to add value
to the company.
And girl, it's so right. And so you're going through all these things and you're like, yeah, and they're teaching you about personal and self-growth, how you show up and all of this. But some who buy into it, but then there are those of us who are sitting there thinking to myself, well, okay, I can do this, but I can also do this for myself.
For me. Right.
For me. What is the value in this? You get what I mean? For me. And so I'm taking all these seminars again, and I started reading this book. And oh God, I can't even think of the man's name. Maybe it's not worth it because I don't want nobody to go and grab it. But he was talking about, again, showing up to these companies and being the best that you can for these companies.
Okay.
Right. And it was like, I'm going to take this class and I'm going to finish it to the end. And it was, again, in this same flow where I am getting to this place where I'm like uncovering things that who am I, even spiritually. I'm learning that I was meant to use my hands and the gifts that I was given to produce the life for me.
Right.
That's what it meant to go out and be fruitful and productive.
Right.
Is to take what I already had.
What was put in you. Yep.
What I already have, I already possess it, right? These things you get, but we don't even realize that we've been turned into like they know that we already have these things,
Yep.
but they don't teach you that
But
you have these things. They
right.
teach you that it is something for you to discover outside
Right.
of yourself.
If you ever discover it at all, while they have you in these seminars running the rat race to make their companies bigger and to build them wealth, if you
So,
discover it at all.
so I was sitting, not to be long-winded, but I've worked for a series of companies, and I won't say no names, but I was sitting in a meeting, and it was a few different meetings where there were a few different conversations that happened. It was one time where I was sitting in there and I was presenting to them where we could cut costs to save money, but how we could do it in a way where we still produced a high quality of service, right?
Okay.
And I remember one of the executives who is a good guy. I don't even think it was that he was intentionally trying to do it to me, but it was like, it's like that.
Right.
You can't, it was almost like I came to the table and the idea that I had was too good. Well, we couldn't do something.
Got me
This
licking my
idea,
finger.
well, no one
I
in his
love talking to
response,
you, girl.
right? And so here the owner is sitting here going, "Wow, this is amazing, Tyra. You put all this work together. You came up with this all by yourself.
And
Isn't
they
that
were,
good?"
and I speak my truth wherever I go. We're live. I just want to be clear. We represent at Black brands. Those people at that table were Caucasoids, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, he says, "You put a lot of work into this. You did a really good job." And the guy sitting to my right goes, "Well, no, nobody's really that good." And I go, "Well, why not? If the work is sitting here right in front of you and it's saying that I'm that good,
Right.
well, where is the measuring stick? Like, what are you saying? If it's not impossible, I just proved to you that it's possible, and I did the work. Nobody's that good. I said anybody can be that good if they put the
No
work and the effort.
one of your
He didn't,
you is that good.
and
And it's not
I did all of the,
YOU, y'all. It's HUE. No one
and
of
it's
your
like,
you is that good.
right. And I started to realize that I was doing all of this. And wait, so when it opened up my eyes to something. Like, I was doing this stuff, but I didn't know what I was doing, Tia, right? Because I didn't finish the college degree. I didn't know what I was doing for these people. I thought that this is just what you do.
Right.
You're achieving at a certain level. I had no idea what I was doing. And sitting in that meeting, he revealed to me what I had actually been doing. And I went back to my desk and I remember thinking to myself, okay, this is it. This is where you got to have some confidence, and you got to believe, like, you don't have certain things under your belt, but you are, like, this is what it means to be a valuable asset. Like, I started to flip things on their head. Like, I'll say it like this, long story short. I turned a place that I thought, where I felt sort of like I had to have the job, I had to be there, I had to punch the clock.
I got you.
And now it's a situation where it's like, oh, I'll come in when when you guys call me, or can we
Right. Do I really have to be here? Right.
Yeah, you want to schedule a meeting for that? And when I'm sitting in a meeting now, I'm going, well, listen, I'm here. I got 2 hours. I got 2 hours.
Right. So now you're dictating to them. You're taking control.
Of my life. But I didn't know that it was possible to do that. Like, I didn't realize that it was actually possible to do that. It wasn't, I can't even, like people go to college and they go to business school, but I want to speak specifically to the young Black girl from the inner city that didn't pay attention too tough in school. She probably talked too much a little bit in class, but she had a gift. And at some point, she realized you got to stop playing around and you got to do something. You know what I mean? And you got to stop thinking that you're not capable because you missed certain steps. You might not have gone through this, or you missed certain steps, because now I'm going back and covering all those.
Sounds like if you had not created that just by chance for the staff or for the people there,
right,
you wouldn't have done it if someone would have.
No,
So
I was doing it out of desperation, because I was sitting there saying, hey guys, I'm over here doing this work and nobody is valuing this work. I had just got fed up with being the person in the office that was kind of like, okay, yes, you need me to, okay, I'll do this. And I'm doing the cleanup.
Right.
I'm doing the grunt work. I'm doing the deep investigations. I'm doing
They're
the deep.
getting all of the credit for it. Right. So you know what? I believe all of that stuff had to happen to bring us exactly to where we are today.
Yep.
So let's talk, girl. You know me. You can talk forever.
Yep.
Let's talk about your artwork for real. Do you have any artwork right there accessible?
Yes, I have some stuff right here accessible.
I know you do, because I can see it all around.
So, well, listen, I don't want to grab too much.
But I can see that.
So you see? Yeah, that's one of my.
Who is that? What is that? Why did that come into creation? Because I believe every piece of art has a story.
Every piece of art has a story. So I just started. So that picture behind me is actually a painting I did of my god sister, who passed away a few years ago from cancer.
Okay.
You know, she won her, I like to say she won her battle. You know what I'm saying? She gained her wings. But it's been about 8 years now, I want to say. It's been a minute, but I was just inspired to start painting her picture. And I just, I felt like she was one of my girls. So I started painting women.
Right.
People were like, oh, you only paint women, men, you don't paint any men. I started painting Black women. They're dear to my heart. I'm a girl's girl. Right. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm a girl's girl. So I was asked to participate for Black History Month at the Cultural Center. And they wanted me to do a piece. So I did a piece of some Black ballerinas. I think I can take you on a tour. Okay. I'll take you on a tour. So my studio is a mess, but this is one of the pieces. I don't know if you can see this one here.
I can see, yes.
But that's one of the pieces that I did for Black History Month to put in. Yeah, that was one of the first pieces I did. And I don't know if you can see it, but what is special about a lot of my pieces is I do a lot of mixed media. So I like to add texture to my
what is mixed media? Okay.
I like to add texture to my paintings. So I use more than just paint. Like I use silk fabrics, I use pearls, I use beads, I use glitter, I use different things. So this picture here, this is her. But I don't know if you can see.
Yes.
Some of the
texture.
I don't know if I'm doing this right, but some of the detail. Yeah, some of the detail in the picture. Yep. So my favorite pieces.
Go ahead, girl.
So my favorite pieces, these are some of the pieces that I started out. So you can literally see the growth. This one here. So a cousin of mine she came from China, and she brought me a bunch of Chinese silk. Okay. And I was sitting, I didn't know what to do with it. So I started doing what I like to call, I don't know what I call it, but this is all Chinese silk fabric. Okay. You can see, right? Wow. So I started doing those, and then that was just me playing around with some canvas. And then I created these pieces here. And I don't know if you can see, but they are. And then as I went on, the pieces just got bigger.
What is the app? Wow, those are ruffles on her dress.
Yep.
Those
yep.
Little diamonds.
Yep. Yep. Like I try to use real good pieces, and I got stuff everywhere in here. Like I don't know if you can see this. I can see
your art on your wall. Yeah.
Yep. So her over in that corner over there, her whole body she's naked under there. Her boobies are showing, but I can't get a close up because I got all my art. You see all my art supplies,
I see you.
but
I see you.
she's so a lot of it has fabric. That's a silk mesh fabric going all across her body to make a shirt. Yeah.
How
So
long does it take you to make your average piece? Not a big gigantic piece. That must take a long time.
well, I spend a lot of time like it really depends. I've worked on some pieces, girl, for like 3 years. 3 years.
So now,
I've
do
worked
you
on
start on it and
I'll
then you
start
put it
it
to
and
the side and start something else?
yep, I started and I walk away because I like to so I'm big on
Wow.
I want my canvas pieces to be fine art. So a lot of that's why I started creating the hoodies and the t-shirts and the products, the mugs and things that I was making because I wanted like the canvas pieces they precious to me. I take a lot of time with them. I'll start working on a piece and I mean depending on how I feel, it could take me anywhere from 6 months to like I said, 3 years. Now, if I'm commissioned for a piece, if somebody asks, because people do commission me to come and do art on the walls, to do logos. I'm getting ready. I was supposed to meet my girl tonight, actually, to her gym about doing a mural and putting her logo and stuff on her wall. So I do different freelance stuff like that to make
Right.
money. And I pick certain pieces like the girls that I showed you. I
Okay.
pick those pieces to like add to certain stuff like mugs or hoodies or t-shirts. But most of my artwork are on huge canvases, like they're on big canvases, gallery pieces. So it's hard to move them around. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's hard to like unless I'm doing a show or stuff like that. So but I do like sometimes I'm sitting like this right here.
Okay.
This is just this will take me 15 minutes and I'll sit and rip some stuff up and do something like that.
She
That'll
ain't
take,
say, oh, that'll just take me
yeah,
15
something
minutes.
like that'll take me
That'll
15
take
minutes in the little
me
pieces.
15 years to do
Yeah,
that.
and because I try to do a lot of pieces, I do paint parties, and so I
Right.
try to create pieces for people to be able to easy stuff for people to paint at paint parties. A lot of times, people don't realize artists spend a lot of their time practicing.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Listen, what I want to do, and we're going to get together offline. I
Yes.
want to have a paint party at It's the Room.
Okay.
I want to have another, we've had one before, but I want to have another art gallery situation where
Yeah.
people, you and a few other artists come in, set up, and just
Yes.
have people come in to see your art, to buy your
Awesome.
art, you know,
I'm
to make that happen.
available. Girl, I'm available. I'm open. And listen, I'm here also to help with other stuff because I know I'm so happy about just to see other people having stuff going on. You know what I
Right.
mean? And just
Right.
us sharing and helping each other, seriously linking up and really
Absolutely.
helping each other spread what we're trying to do in this community. It's important.
Absolutely, absolutely. I am so down. Listen, we have run out of time, girl. We got
Thank
to have you
you.
on again
You
and
gotta
again
keep it under
because I
right.
haven't
You gotta
even
keep
gotten
it
to
under
all my
control.
questions.
Cause girl, I'll take off. I'll be going. You be talking to me all. We be here at 8:00.
We will have you on again. You know, maybe in a couple of, maybe
Yeah.
probably spread it out some, but
When
we'll definitely have
I progress, when I have
different
more,
parts.
when I got more to share, but we're gonna do some stuff together.
Listen, you got a lot to share now. We
I,
just ain't get to it because we just gotta chop it up so people don't be like, okay, it's taking too long. But I appreciate
I
you.
appreciate
Where can
you.
people find you and find your stuff?
You can check me out at Make It Pretty on Facebook. It's Make It Pretty LLC.